All right, we are here at Stearns Big Park, where we're going to be walking for episode 1. Let's get ready. Let's get going. I'll take a picture of this later. So that you could see. There are a few people here. So let's get rolling on the trail. Let's get wiki luck going here. All right. Like I said, this is episode 1 for Park Adventures with Ted. All right, let me. I need to find my wiki luck. Here we go. All right. Now I've got the wiki lock. So now we're going to share it. I'm actually redoing this. The other day, I walked to this trail and I decided to do it in 4K. Actually, I started in 4K, then I switched it to 2.7. But then when I watched the video back, it was all bouncy. I was like, huh, this is not good at all. So here we are in the usual format that I'm used to recording. I got the wiki log going. All right, here we are at 1. We're going to do the loop to 2, to 3, to 6, to 7, to 11, down here to 9, to 8, to 4, and back to the parking. That's the plan, and we will see. Hopefully all that was in view. So yeah, this is Stearn Creeks Park in Ottawa County, Michigan. This is going to be, like I said, episode 1. Got off to a quick start. There's a lot of people around. I just wanted to get going and rolling. So here we are. All right. All righty. Yeah. All right, we're going this way. The trail is kind of hidden. Looks like I need to just do a little adjustment on the camera. So we're going to quickly put just a little bit of a down on it. There we go. Hopefully that'll be a little better in the long run. All right. Getting used to the helmet view because you are on the helmet. Got to be used to do more scanning with my eyes versus, you know, how they call it seasick. But I'm going to call it trail sick. I'm going to try not to get you guys trail sick because the whole idea is to view the trail, see what's going on. All right. This park does go right next to the Grand River, as you can see. That's what the river is, the Grand River. We'll have to see if there's any wildlife out there. But some Canadian geese that's just beyond the trees. But here's a bench. Look at that, a bench on the trail. Get tired, you can sit on the bench. Need a breather? Yeah. Sit on the bench. I am gonna look a little. Yeah, it looks like geese are doing what they do best, just fight with each other. Just poop and fight. Poop, fight, and eat. That's what the Canadian geese are all about. Poop, fight, and eat. And here's another bench. I noticed these tags on these trees. Those are all labeled. I'm sure there's a reason. What the heck's going on over there? Behave. All right. Hopefully I didn't get you too trail sick there. Oh, here we go. We're gonna take a photo here. This is a good little photo spot right here. Keep forgetting with Wikiloc, you need to definitely get some photos in. In case you didn't mention, as I mentioned, I am at Stearns Creek Park, Ottawa County, Michigan. Now I do have my big camera with me, but we'll see if the opportune persists to use it. I can already tell that I'm way too warm. Way too many layers on for how warm it is. Little tidbit fact. This park I found right after I got my action camera and was testing it. So this is actually the very first park that I started using my action camera. And before I thought of, let's walk trails and record them. Alrighty, so we are at point number 2. So we'll go right over here to 3. Now, one important thing to always remember as you go for a walk is stay hydrated. Off camera, before I got going and rolling, I probably had a good quarter of a bottle of of a power drink. I don't know, does YouTube flag even you saying the name of a product? Huh, I'll have to look into that. Anyhow, the flavor was orange. Now, I do also have, for later, if some means of quenching a thirst is needed, I do have a pickle shot. So, always make sure you got hydration with you. I do have a bottle that's in my bag of water, just in case. This is not a very big trail, but yet you'll see the length of it. If I had to guess what we're going to be walking, it'll be around 2 to about 2.1 miles. I had to guess. Basically 2 miles. Now look at that, another bench. But there's the start. Not really the start, it's where the parking lot is. That's what I meant to say. That's where it says the trailhead. And here we are at number 3. Time to go to 6. And what do you know? Another bench. Hopefully I didn't get the trail sick. I heard something like quick off to the right, which is why I kind of looked over there. So the helmet cam is what I prefer. I cannot speak today. Holy moly. The helmet cam, which is what we're viewing right now, is what I prefer. I like it for several reasons. The hands are free, so it's easy to grab my camera. It's a crow. I don't know if you can see it. It's up there. Kind of move around so maybe you could see it. All right. Very dead. Coming out of winter. This is what happens when you come out of winter and into early spring. The woods is dead. Not any leaves, no foliage. What happens? Don't worry. Places will thrive. Leaves will grow. And soon a lot of this trail will be shaded. Another bench. So I mentioned that I'm filming this because I made a little boohoo on the format. When I was here the other day, well, you know what? I don't really want to spoil it. So some people know, some people don't. We'll just leave it like that. So yes, I'm going to leave a cliffhanger. We'll see what happens. All right. I like that it's windy because, like I said, I totally could go down a layer. All right, I'm going to slow down a little bit just to do a make sure we are still recording. Check. All right. Everything looks good. Look at that. Look at that. All right. A lot of dead. A lot of cut trees. All right, we're going to go down here. Well, we are at point number 6. We go to 6 to 7. Oh, we're to 11. Got a little running water action. Goes underneath the trail. Over to here and yonder. Heck yeah. Fun stuff. All right, let's all get on rolling here. All right. Dead. But we are at number 7. So let's go to 11. All right, so sandy trails, they don't bother me, but I also don't like it when it's super sandy, like you're at the beach. But don't get me wrong, good workout's a good workout. And it's a good workout walking in the sand. But there's going to be a future park that I have to go back to. It is one that I did walk, and there's a lot of sand. If I had to guess this park, oof, I'd say probably 85% of it's sand. I might be a little more biased, but yeah, it was not a fun one to practice walk, and I did record it. It was one of the ones that I recorded for when I was practicing with my action camera and all the different modes and figuring out which one works, doesn't work, and all that good stuff, along with settings. Another good little view of the Grand River. Oh yeah, right here. Look at that. Don't see any wildlife, unfortunately. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Good shortcut. Do we want to? No. All right, so here is 11. We're just gonna do the loop back to 10. But yeah, it's like right over there. Like you can see the post for the map and all that. Keep on moving along. Nice blue skies. I don't think there's a cloud in the sky. Let's get to this bench over here, and then we'll see. Is there a cloud in the sky? Let's see here. I'm not seeing a cloud at all in the sky. Oh, there's very low ones over there. Try not to get the sun in your face, even though I might have. Not really seeing any more over there. Some very light clouds to the west. The west is to our back. West-ish. See, look, it's more of that sand that I love so much. Imagine how this is going to look when it finally fills up. It's like you're going to head into a tunnel. Oh, look at that dragonfly. I don't know if you caught that. We'll have to see if we got that on camera. But imagine how this is going to fill up. You're just like walking through this maze of whatever the heck these are. Note to self. I should download one of those plant identifiers. Maybe a rock one too. Find rocks on our walks. We can try to identify them. I am no geologist or biologist or naturalist by any means. So we can learn together. All right. All right. Oh, turtles. Look at all the turtles over there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, we're going into the sun. I know. Look at the turtles over there. We're going to see what type of photo we can get of these turtles. First, I got to find a halfway decent view to get the turtles. There's more turtles. There's just lots and lots of turtles. All right, here's a good view. Here's a good shot. I'm realizing that I'm swinging the head. All right. We'll go ahead and take a shot here at the turtles. All right. Zoomed in as much as we could at the turtles. So, see, hands free. That's what it's all about, folks. Will I always be hands free? No. There'll be some trails where just gonna go no camera. I'll deal with the phone. And hey, phones these days take awesome photos. Take another view of the river. Heck yeah. Look at the river. It's just flowing, it's just chilling, it's just vibing, it's flowing, it's just saying, hey, I'm water, I'm flowing. Into the wind we go. Time to test the mic. Hopefully not too much wind static. Should probably do a record check here. So a record check it is. All right, everything's all good. At least when I'm handheld, I could tell. But when it's up on the helmet, it's a good thing for technology. That's all I'm going to say. I was going to take this outer shell jacket off, but you know what? Nothing wrong with a little sweat. All right. Really, the post was for number 9 that we saw way down there, where you can see that one. All right, here we are at number 10. We're going to go to 9, then 8, then 4, and back to the trailhead. Fortunately, we're kind of going into the sun. It is what it is. It's all part of the game. Yeah, little butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly. There's our voicerous friends. Let me sidestep so we can see them. I think you see them. Yeah, the good old Canadian geese. All right. Not gonna lie, this breeze kind of says I'm glad I didn't take off my jacket. So if you have any questions, comments, things you want to add, things I should do, things I should talk about, things you want to know, go ahead and just put it in the comments. And I will do them best to answer them on the next hiking trail recording. All right. Nothing like a walk into the sun. Ding ding, the brain has a question. What's the question, brain? All right, the brain has a question, and the question is, how far south in Michigan do bears typically make it? All right, that's a very good question. Since we're going to go on nature hikes, we need to be prepared for any possible bear encounters. Probably even cougar, coyote. Now, I'm sure 97%, and again, I am not a hunter, I'm not a biologist by any means, not an expert by any means necessary. We'll continue here in a second. We're at number 9. We're going to 8. Looks like it's a straight shot to 8. So, like I said, I'm not an expert. So, I'm sure most of them, they get spoofed. When they know you're kind of around, they're going to get spoofed and go away. I think the only time that it'll be problematic is if there's, they have babies around. Obviously, it's a different story then. But to answer the question is how far south. So I Googled it. I mean, you got to Google everything, especially now that AI is incorporated with Google, which AI can just search mountains of data in a flash. So, like I said, I'm in Ottawa County. We'll say Grand Haven, Allendale, in between. And bears have made it this far south. Ooh, what is that? I think that's a sandhill crane. Bears have made it this far south, but they're more predominant like in the Traverse City, Big Rapids, Cadillac, and north. So we're good. We're not out of the woods. Not out of the woods because anything is plausible. You never know. But So yeah, good question, brain. Huh. I'll take a look at the wiki lock here. Take a little breather. Look at the wiki lock. All right. 40 minutes in, 1.4 miles. So yeah, it's at 37 because I've made a couple like squeaky stops. All right. Like here's some big clearing area. Yeah, they definitely had a fire here. We weren't invited for marshmallows. Oh, was it windy? Very windy as we get into the field. All right. Hmm. So we're at number 8. So it looks like this is pointing towards number 7 that you could just barely see. But we're going to scoop around to 4. That must be a side trail. Not on the map. Very windy. So this is definitely a good test. I think this is a little windier than what I've tested the mic out at. So this is good. This is good. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I'm gonna roll down my sleeves. It is nice and chilled. I'm glad I kept my jacket on. I think I've already said that though. You could tell that these trees were planted when they were growing because they're all in a line. Unless God just works in mysterious ways, which is plausible. All right, we're gonna take a little peek around us. The field. Oh yeah, look at the field. Like I said, we were not invited to this barbecue fire cookout that they had. Man, I feel disappointed. We could have had a good time roasting marshmallows. Hmm. Oh yeah, look at that all over in there. Sand, sand, and sand. I don't mind the sand that's on this trail. It's very small and few and far in between. Like I said, there is a trail in our future. I'm not fond of it. We're going to do it. I'm not fond of it, but we're going to do it. I'm so not fond of it. Bet you want to know what the name of it is. Trust me, you will know. Because it'll be in the introduction. So it looks like this is where the unofficial trail goes if you don't want to do the side one. Well, the official trail. But that comes to note number 2 or 3 or 4, whatever we're up to. Always stick to the trail. You realize you're not on the trail, then you got to backtrack until you figure out that you're on the trail. All right. Moving along. Now that the wind's not with us and my sleeves are down, now I'm getting warm. Sleeves rolled up. All right. Mm. All right, here's number 4. If I remember correctly, we just round the bend and go home. Round the bend and go home. You know, that last little points, I don't think there was any benches, were there? Yeah, so it looks like it's all over on the one sides and sections. I don't remember any benches there in the last couple of points. Interesting. Or they were taken out because of the controlled fire. Be a numerous amount of things. All right, up ahead is the parking lot as more wind comes, which honestly feels great. Couple more benches. as I see picnic tables. You'll see them here in a few. Alrighty. And the silver bullet. Alright, pretty much empty except for the workers, Ottawa County workers. So we got some benches. Got a table, 2 tables. Got a porta potty. There's a tray. You got the trail map. Benches on the trail. I mean, it's not a bad trail by any means. Don't knock it. It's very simple. It's to the point. You can get a good workout in, good walk. So yeah, this is as we get back to my silver bullet, the Stearn Creek Park in Ottawa County, Michigan. So alrighty, that concludes episode 1. And then there's a shed that probably has all their working materials in it. And the parking lot looks to be about, what about 8-10 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13. Alrighty. Well, this concludes Stearn Park Creek Park. Stearn Creek Park. Ottawa County. Alright, you know what to do. Comment, follow, hit the bell. And good night from Park Adventures with Ted. Oh, hey, what are you doing? I thought the video's done. It's time to, well, since you're here, it's the end of the video. Remember, it's always good to hydrate. But yeah, see you later. You know the drill. Comment, share, all that good stuff. All right, see you later.